Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. It's a nice nightcap. I do a little fabrication job, quite an important part for a steam traction engine, and I also drill a stud out. I normally get studs out by welding nuts on, but this one was a real stubborn one and I had to resort to drilling. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. In part 2, I was at Ryup pumping station 2 or 3 weeks ago. They had an open day and the 2 beam engines were in steam, so I got a little bit of film of that. I'm going to put some of that together and have a little bit watch of that. There hasn't been a great lot going on in the shop this week. I've been sort of laid up a little bit, and I'd just like to say a massive thanks to all the staff at the day treatment centre at the RVI hospital in Newcastle. I was in there having a varicose vein procedure done on my leg, and the treatment I had was absolutely fantastic. And the anaesthetist lad says he's definitely going to subscribe, and I said I'll give him a shout out. So thanks very much for all your help. Like I say, fantastic service. Everything's healing up nicely as well. I've been asked if I can replicate that, but in 2mm steel plate. It's a really important component of a traction engine. It goes on the foot plate, and it's where you keep your cans of beer or your cans of lager whenever you're at a steam rally. It's a really important part of the kit. I've done a drawing. I've uploaded it into the plasma table software. I'm going to cut it out and then probably TIG weld it and get some nice pretty TIG welds. That's what the guy asked for, pretty TIG welds. So I'll give it a go. I've shown this metal folder quite a few times. It's a little bit rusty because it's been stored outside, but now I've built a little covered in area for storing stuff like this. I'll be able to get it cleaned up properly. Bastard. That's meant to lock in there, obviously. See, it's suffering from the rust a little bit. But it does make nice clean bends. It was made for fabricating repair parts for cars. We used to weld rusty heaps of shite back together in the good old days, or the bad old days, depending on how you look at it. There's certainly better days than they are now. Well, we've got it most of the way. I'm sure a block of steel and a hammer will finish it off quite nicely. Now we've got the basic shape of a box, a little bit of tapping round, and then we'll weld it up, close these gaps up a little bit. Looks like we're not too bad. We'll get some tacks on it, and then so we can get some TIG welding, a little bit of video TIG welding possibly. didn't weld as nice as I expected, the reason being the plate's got a coating on it. I think it's what they call Zintex. It's not zinc. It's got some sort of anti-corrosion coating on it. I should have ground it off, and you can see on the weld it was like bubbling up into the weld. That's why the weld's a little bit, well, it's not shape, it's not the best I've done. We'll clean it up. Definitely ground the coating off, and it would have been a different picture altogether. Well, at least it will hold 3 cans of beer, which is the most important thing. It's pulled the coating through from the inside as well. I mean, the welds are right through, 100% of penetration. It's just a box of hole beer in, but I wanted to make it look a little bit nicer than that. There we go, cardboard steel. I think I'll spend the next half hour tidying this bench up. It's an absolute disgrace. I think it'll last a long time. It's certainly strong enough. I've got yet another snapped turbo manifold stud. That's it there. It's 8mm into cast iron, and it's snapped with about 4 threads down. It's not easy to weld that one. You've got a chance of catching the casting with a weld, so I think this one's going to be a drilly out job. We'll set it up in the milling machine, nice and square, drill it out, hopefully keep the same threads, but I can always put a helicoil insert in if I've got to. And it is standard 8mm. What Vauxhall have kindly done is made that angle 90 degrees to that angle, so it makes it fairly easy to mount. I put it in the vise like that. That face there is going to keep that face there nice and square and straight. It's pivoting on 2 parts of the cast, and we'll get like a happy compromise. Yeah, it's definitely it. Nice and flat. If we measure the heights, it's 5.5 to that one. It is 5.5. 5.5. So basically that is the job, nice and true and square. We just need to pick the centre up now. Centre drill in there. Then I think I may try left hand drills just in case a miracle happens and it decides to come out. I've got an 8mm dowel pin in the chuck, so I can use that to pick up the hole, kind of eyeball it. Pretty good at that. Happy with that. Everything's now nicely clamped down, everything's square, in line. I'll have a go with the centre drill first. Right, we'll move on to some left hand drills and see if it will perform a miracle and scrub out. You never know. It sometimes happens. Right, so we need the drill or the machine running backwards. Right, no chance. And that stud is way harder than these drills. The left hand drills, but they aren't really expensive ones. I'm going to need some cobalt to get that bastard out of there. Right, we'll give it a try with a cheap and cherry Banggood milling cutter. Oh, you bastard. Right, let's took the end clean off that bastard. Lovely. Right. It was easy. How are you doing this? Excellent. Just what I need this. Just what I need. Oh, that is as well. Broken bit of milling cutter in there. That's got to come out. Scabby bastard. Right. I think what happened was I think the milling cutters broke right through into the bottom of the hole. That's why it pulled the end off the bastard thing. Oh no, possibly not. Yeah, I can still see the shiny stud. It's leaving the threads in. I'll try 6.5mm crowbar drill in there. Oh, John, man. I think we're just about through it. I want to see Castine come out of there. And I know I'm all the way through the stud. Oh, dear me, John. Right, so that's pulled what's left of the stud out. The threads are still there. Sort of miracle, that. You see, it's actually bit in, pulled them threads. Well, it's still sharpened that drill. It's done the drill no good, but it has pulled them out quite nicely. Yeah, we'll give it a try, power tapping it. I've got a fairly loose grip on the tap, so the tap will spin. That looks pretty good, actually. That looks very good. Right, so that's a stud, bottomed out. Right, that's more than enough torque on there. It hasn't pulled the threads out, so we'll deem that to be sorted. Happy with that, very happy.